Okay.
And so a typical engagement in any of those scenarios is really not only getting clear on what good looks like, but
Mm-hmm.
why.
Oh,
Because so many times we were like, I want to do this. A business is like, we want to expand. An individual's like, I want to get promoted. Or, in group settings, we do a lot of women in leadership type work. It's like, I want whatever. And then the next question is why?
why? Okay.
And if those answers ring hollow, then it's time to go back and take a look at that to figure out what you really do want. Because so often we're on autopilot. We do something because it's what's expected next. We do something because, well, that's what all the books and the magazines and the podcasts say I'm supposed to do. And all of these things, it's like, no, let's lean back in and figure out what do you want? And I think a really good example is I had this summer, I had a summer of flow, is what I called it. And we
Nice.
had hired all these coaches last year. We launched the book in January. We had a great book launch party in New York City in April. And everybody's like, what's next? And I'm like, I'm tired. Nothing is next. Right. And so I promised we are going to run the business, but I was just going to not make any big decisions or start anything new for the whole summer.
Nice.
Now the summer flows led into a raging river, but I needed that time to assess what I wanted. And as I was doing this, I read this book called Scale or Fail.
Scale or fail.
And so one of the exercises is that, you put your big hairy goal out there from a revenue perspective,
Okay.
then you triple it. And so I did that and I'm like, well, this is exciting and all that kind of fun stuff. But then I started to back into what the operational and personal expense would be in terms of lifestyle to do that. I'm like, I don't want to work that hard. It's like, it's
That's
not for me,
fine. Mhm.
right? And so I think checking in and asking ourselves why. Because if you find that you've achieved something that you wanted and you get there and suddenly you look around and you're like, is this all there is?
Right.
Then
Right.
you've been running the wrong race.
Mhm.
And so we don't check in enough to make sure that the race we're running is going to give us the finish line that is truly where we need to be. So that's the really first part of the engagement, because once that's clear,
Yes.
then from an execution perspective and building that path forward through coaching and through skill building and, through advisory work, that stuff becomes a lot easier.